Hey, how's it going? How are you today? Awesome. So, social apps. So, we all know social media apps are what they are. I mean, let's face it. Basically, when you go on Instagram, you know you're getting filtered pictures of the best parts of somebody's life. When you go on Facebook, you know you're getting the diary explaining the best parts of somebody's life. When you're on Twitter, you're getting their rants. When you're on YouTube, you're getting a personality. And when you're on Vine, you're getting the funniest parts of somebody's life. And we all know that it spotlights the best, or it spotlights the glamorous, or it spotlights the funny, or the rich, or the celebrity. And that's cool, and we know that. And we know that it is only a glimpse into somebody's reality, just like we know reality TV shows happen to be scripted and have the best lighting, and we know it's not really real, right? Well, that's kind of what social media is. There's been a lot of talk lately about social media and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's creating a generation full of people who just have their heads in their phones constantly and don't know how to interact socially anymore, or if it is the new future and it's what we all have to get used to. And I mean, that's going to be a battle for a long time. You always have the older generations who are more insistent on staying the same, and then the younger generation who wants constant change. So those are always conflicting. But with all of the attention around the Asana O'Neil quitting her social media accounts, like her Instagram and YouTube page, and then you also have people like Russell Brand, who was getting to be really influential with the Trues, just deciding to up and quit Twitter and his YouTube Trues channel. It makes you wonder, well, wasn't the purpose of creating these outlets in social media to reach a broad audience? And I totally get the point that some of these social media celebrities are coming from with I want to take myself off of social media because, like Asana said, she was being paid to say things she didn't think, she was being paid to wear things she didn't own, and she basically had people living her life for her in the public's eye. So when it comes to that, I completely understand why you want to pull yourself away and say, I want to focus on me, focus on my life. But on the flip side, it's also the time you want to stay on social media because you are now saying, look, I am calling out the bullshit, and from here on forward, I am going to be honest with my public, and from now on, post photos that have you with acne. You said you're proud of your acne, show acne. You said, that you didn't own the dress, well, show the clothes you own. Like, there's no sense in closing the social media because now you've created a fan base that wants to hear your voice. You created a platform for yourself, and now you have people who want to hear you, but you're taking yourself out of the dynamic, and now it's hard for people who agree with your stance to communicate with you. So I almost feel like it's backpedaling. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I get why you'd want to take yourself off in the sense that you want to get out of the public's eye. Maybe you want to avoid a media firestorm. I think that's what Russell Brand did. His seemed so abrupt and so out of the blue. It was literally after he did a really in-depth story that involved a really bad crime with higher ups over in the UK. I'm not sure if it spanned worldwide, but after investigating that, it seemed like, boom, he shut everything down, and it had people speculating, well, is this Russell really standing by what he's saying to the public, which was, hey, this is turning out to be bigger than I thought it was going to be. He basically shunned everything he was going for, but then made it sound like he still wanted people to investigate the truth and see the cracks in the politics and stuff that's being played out before us, but he was taking himself off social media and kind of didn't really explain why, so I'm still curious what he's going to say about that. But I think we are also starting to realize that all of these apps serve a purpose, and they're allowing everybody around the world to communicate with each other at such a quick speed that it's never been seen before, at least not that we know of. So it's this amazing thing, but we also know that it's creating kind of this cesspool, dirty part of humanity also where there's a lot of shaming and cyberbullying and catfishing, and there's a lot of like dirty, seedy stuff on these social apps as well. So it's judging the good with the bad. And I think basically what we need to start doing as a society is saying, you know what, it's not the app's fault. The app is progressing some part of society, whether it's, look at how vain I am with a selfie for the millionth time. No, but these things are pushing us into different realms of communication that we haven't experienced before, and that's a good thing, so we should continue to try them. Maybe we need to start looking at these at an individual basis and saying, hey, how much am I indulging in this app, and how much am I putting out there that's false? Do I want to identify myself as this false character, or do I want to put the real me out there and find the people who genuinely care about me? Because that is a good tool, and the people who are doing that, those people are being received well and are well liked. And I think if you're not abusing social media and your accounts don't make you look like the most vain person in the entire world, I think it's a good communication tool. It helps you get in touch with and stay in touch with a lot of people, and that's cool. So I don't think we should be blaming the actual apps. I think we individually should be saying, hey, how much do I do this? How much am I investing in these apps? Should I be taking a break from them? And is what I'm putting out there real? And how much of me do I want to put out there? Because, you have to judge how much of your privacy do you want to keep versus how unabashedly unashamed are you of your unapologetic lifestyle. Like, that's cool too. Both are really interesting, and I think that's where we're dividing, and it's okay that we're dividing. I think that's really interesting. There's going to be people who want to share everything on social media, and then there's people who want privacy with no social media at all, which I think is fascinating. So it's a really cool topic to talk about. I think the more conversation we get going about this, the more fascinated we will all become. And honestly, I think we just need to be cool with letting everybody do what they want to do and not saying, well, this is the right way or this is the right way, but just knowing that, we're getting somewhere and it's fucking fascinating. But anyway, that was my idea for Friday. What are these social apps doing? What do you think about them? Do you use them often? Are you rarely on them? Do you think they're dumb? Or do you want to invent the next cool one and be the next fucking Mark Zuckerberg? Let me know in a comment below. Anyway, great Friday, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care and have a great weekend.